Hey guys, this is Mike, and this is a new video. It's been a very long time since I made one, but yeah, I'm still here and I'm still working on a couple of projects every once in a while. This is a new game that I'm working on, and this video is going to be the first in a development log series for this game. This is Flippy Slime Friends. This is a sequel to the last game that I made in the previous development log series. Um, so if you played that or watched that, then you know that this is a isometric puzzle game. So for this first video, I'm just gonna get right into it. Here is the area select, where you can select different areas. Each area has its own theme, and each theme has some puzzle mechanics tied to it. So the first area is just the tutorial. This is just to show you how to play the game. The game is very simple. It's a grid of tiles, and you have to activate all of the tiles. And to activate them, you just have to move to them. You can use the arrow keys here to move the slime around and then activate the tiles. And once the level is finished, you'll get a star and you'll get a diamond if you finished in the goal number of moves or less. So always try to finish these levels in as few moves as possible. The second level is supposed to teach you that um, if you step on a tile that's already activated, like here you're forced to, it will deactivate. And I think that's where the entire complexity of the game comes from, is that stepping on tiles will toggle them on and off. And the third level is to teach you that not every tile can be activated. So these three tiles in the middle, you can still step on them, but they don't do anything with regards to beating the level. So you can ignore those. But they will still count towards your move count. So if I finish the level here, I'll get the star, but I won't get the diamond because I made too many moves. Um, and this last part is has more than one slime, and this is where the name of the game comes from. Um, so if a level has more than one slime, you'll get a new button down here called switch, and pressing it will just switch between any slimes in the level. So here I'll move with this slime, and then down here with this slime. And each slime's movement will count towards the total move count, so keep that in mind. So that's that for the tutorial. Oh yeah, just keep in mind that none of this is final. All of the designs here are probably going to change. Um, when I'm trying to come up with the designs and the UI for this game, this is probably the most difficult part for me because I'm not really that great of a designer. Uh, but yeah, so let's get into the first real area of the game, which is the grassy area. So the first few levels are just going to be pretty simple, just to get you used to the game. And then eventually I'm going to introduce a couple of tile mechanics that will introduce some complexity. So here is the arrow tile, and basically if you step on a tile that has an arrow on it, it'll force you to move in the direction that the arrow is facing. So if you played the first game, Flippy Slime, then you already know what this does because this was taken from that game. And then likewise, this is the super jump, also taken from the first game. And what it does is if you step on it, it'll make you jump forward 2 squares. So yeah, that's that. And of course, I might have some levels that have arrows and super jumps in them. And try to solve these in the fewest number of moves that you can. And of course, later on, I'm going to have levels with more than one slime in it. So one thing to keep in mind in levels with multiple slimes is that two slimes cannot occupy the same tile. They will block each other. So if I switch to this guy, I go here, and if I try to move left, I can't because the other guy's in the way. Likewise, if I switch to this guy and I move right, I can't because the other guy is in the way. And that's going to be a very important thing to keep in mind because I will be using that fact in some of the future levels, especially in the ice area. So let's move on there. The first level is going to introduce the ice tiles right away. So if you've ever played any video games in the past, you probably already know what these do. They'll make you keep moving forward until you hit a non-ice tile or something blocks your way. So here it's possible to slide right off the map. Anytime you do that, you just restart the level. So that's that. There's some fairly complex puzzles coming in. Eventually, I also introduced the block tiles. So these really are used in conjunction with the ice tiles just to make you stop. And yeah, that level is just to show you what the block tiles do. And eventually, you'll get levels like this where you have to use the block tiles. Here, the block tiles will basically block you. So if I'm over here, I can't move left. And I can use these tiles to stop me from sliding off with the ice. Oh, so this is the first level that I introduced where you have to use the fact that you can block each of the slimes with each other. So if I do this and then I go down, then you'll notice that, yeah, it's not optimal. I finished that in 13 moves, but the best is 9. So if you start that over, you have to realize that you should move this slime here, switch to the other one, and then move this one down. The other tile is going to block it, or the other slime is going to block it so it doesn't slide off. And yeah, that's how you get it in the optimal number of moves. And I'm going to be using this mechanic in a lot of the future puzzles. So level 9. This one is interesting because I came across this accidentally as an unintended mechanic. I just ran into it and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So now I'm incorporating that into the puzzles. So this one is fairly simple looking. It's just 2 slimes on either end of a row, and the row has 3 ice tiles in it, and there's 2 tiles on the edge. So at first glance it looks simple, and then you might quickly realize, wait, this is impossible. How do I get to the middle tiles over there? And yeah, you can't even switch to this guy because it's completely boxed in. So if you go back and then switch to this guy, and it's like, oh, what do I do? How do I get to the middle tiles? So at first glance it seems kind of impossible, so you're going to have to think outside the box for this one. There's only really one way to get to the middle tiles, and some of the more savvy people will probably already figure out how to solve this one. And if you have, then that's really cool because I'm going to be using this mechanic where you have to reach the middle tiles in future puzzles. The next area is the desert area. I am thinking of scrapping this one because the more I think about it, the less I like the tile mechanic behind it. I don't have any levels for it. The next area doesn't have a graphic because I haven't finished one or I haven't even made one yet. But this is supposed to be the floating ruins area. And the mechanic for this one is moving tiles. So this one I only have 1 level because I'm experimenting with moving tiles, how they're working, and creating paths for them. So yeah, I'm gonna be creating some levels with the moving tiles here in this area, and then this one I plan on being a undersea area, and it's gonna have a bubble kind of tile mechanic, which I really like. I haven't implemented it yet, but hopefully in the next video I will have it finished and I'll show you how the bubble mechanic works. And the last one is just, I'm not really sure yet. It's probably just going to have the mechanics from every other area in it and have the most difficult puzzles. So that's it for this first video, and yeah, hopefully I'll come out with the second video sometime soon, but probably not because I'm working on this game on and off and it's going pretty slow, but it is going there. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.